Hello my fellow freedom builders and welcome back to the channel. I often get the question as to how I find the different stocks that I have on my watch list. And today I'm going to show you one of the tools that I'm using in my day-to-day work, a tool that I just got developed with one of my business partners, and I'm going to show you what kind of US stocks it is finding right now. First of all, several of you have asked me when I'm going to pick the winner for the silver coin, and he already has been found, as you can see here in our YouTube channel. You go to the community tab here. I know this is in Danish, but here you can see all the messages I'm writing, and as you can see, it is I think it is Xiao Kai Lao. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And I have contacted this guy via YouTube and Instagram and all sorts of... I haven't heard from him yet, but I think I will eventually. So if you are Xiao Kai Lao, please contact me. And in a bit more than a week, I will pick a new winner for the next silver coin. So that has been done already. Very good. Let's have a look at the tools. First of all, there are not really any substitute for just plain hard work when finding good candidates. And I use a lot of time at, for instance, at Seeking Alpha. They have a lot of good articles. I spend a lot of time in my TradingView looking at charts. You can see I have Nikola here, one of the companies I have been looking a lot at lately. And I am using, of course, the Stockopedia, which also has a very good scanning feature. And then there is the new one here, because I was missing a tool where I could put my own stuff in. And as you can see here, what I always do before I start to invest is to get a view of the overall market picture. And as you can see right now here for the United States, we can see here how many of the stocks I am following. It's 480 in my large cap stock universe. You can see that there are 32% of them below their 20-day simple moving average. 49% is above their own 50-day moving average, and 59% is above their 200-day moving average. So what I'm looking at is actually the middle one here, and we can see that has been dropping in the United States. I am not too comfortable investing in the market when that is below 50, so if it drops further, we update this once per week. If it drops further down, I'll probably stay off investing in new stocks in the US market until I can see that we have an uptrend here again. But what I'm going to do today is that I am going to scan the market for you, and we're going to see what stocks come up. I don't even know it yet, so this is just new stocks for me as well, and I'll show you how I deal with them. This is a scanner that I currently only offer to my Danish subscribers, but I've gotten a lot of requests as to if I'm going to make some subscription for my English audience or English speaking audience, and there might be some sort of light version for you out there only speaking English. But this is the tool right now that is included in the Danish subscription service. Now, right now, we're only looking for US stocks. So we have ticked off USA here. Now, when I do my technical analysis, I only want to do it on stocks that are quite solid. So I have my own Q score here, where I can, on a scale from 1 to 10, I can see how solid and how profitable the companies are. What I'm looking for is I want to see the earnings per share go up from year to year. I want to see some good stability. I want to see that there's not too much debt compared to the overall company, and so on. And I have put this into a score so that you can see right now we have 389 stocks to choose from. If I want a Q score above 6, that is cut significantly down, and you can see here that they are going here from 8.6 and downwards in the Q score. Then I have my own relative strength score, and that is where I take the stocks, every single stock in this universe, and I take how well they have performed over 1 month, how well they have performed over 3 months, and then I rank them both on 1 month and 3 months and see, give them a score and see who has done best. If they are at 100, it means that they are at the top 1% of all the stocks. So let's say, for instance, we want stocks that have a relative strength score of above 70. We are down to 69 now. Maybe we also want this relative strength score to go up, so we want it to be above its own moving average. We can tick this one off. And if you have been following me for a while, you know that to be in a green zone, a stock needs to be above its 50 line here at the RSI at the weekly chart, and it needs to be above these two moving averages, this comparative relative strength score. Of course, Nicola is not there right now, but it's just to explain that when I'm saying that the trend needs to be green this week, then we only get stocks that are in the green zone. So we are at quite a good place right now. We only want stocks above 200 SMA here, and we could put some volume in. We could also say that we want the price to free cash flow, for instance, to be better than the other stocks in the stock universe we are looking at. And we may want to say the same for the enterprise value to EBITDA, that we want that to be green or light green, meaning that we are ending with 14 stocks here out of a universe of almost 500. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a quick look at them to see if there are any one of these that are interesting. So we will just copy the stocks directly here into TradingView. As you can see, I have let's just have the right one here. I have a watch list called Toolbox, so I'll just copy paste it in here, and we have all the stocks. So these are the stocks we're going to have a look at today, and we'll just have a quick glance at them from a technical point of view, and I'll explain what I'm looking for so you can see if some of these stocks should on your list of candidates. So what we see here is that on the weekly chart we have Adobe, and it is in a very good trend. It is in a green zone, of course. That is what we asked the scanner to give us. And then I'm going to have a look at the daily chart to see if we can time it better. And what I want to see is that I want to see that the price is bouncing off the 20 SMA. That is the black line here. That is 20 days simple moving average. Down here we have the 50 SMA. It is also okay if it finds a bit of support here. But right now, what I actually want to see with Adobe before buying is that it can get above the 20 SMA, find a bit of support, and then bounce from there. I also do not want to see the RSI on a daily chart be below the 50 line here. So in this process, I also want it to show some strength. And if that comes, then I'll probably buy. That might be here around 520, 515, 525, something like that. So I never get in right at the bottom, but I do get trending stocks. And this one, of course, has been in a green zone since somewhere here around in April. So that would have been a very nice move to take here. So Adobe, it is on my list of candidates, but right now it is not 100% there. Then we have Align Technology. As you can see, the trend is not completely there. It is in a green zone, fair enough, but there's simply too many areas here that people might consider as a roof we can hit up against here, some resistance. So even though it looks fairly okay on the daily chart, I'm not really gonna take it. So Align Technology, not there yet. And I do hope that you can follow my arguments here. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what I am looking for to find some good candidates. So let's have a look at the next one. This is Ansys here. Bit of the same. It is in a green zone. The weekly trend is very nice. It has been bouncing very nicely off the 20 SMA here and just been kissing the 50 line here at the RSI. But lately it has gone a bit below and down here testing the 50 SMA. So again, this will not be one I'm taking right now. Some of you that are a bit more aggressive might want to take it, and I'm just looking for some action above the 20 SMA. Broadcom is actually one I had on my candidate list a while back. One of the videos that was down here. Funny enough, that pops up again here. I had it down around 330-40 pieces here. What I'm also looking for, and those of you that have seen a lot of my videos know that I do love a chart where I can find some rising bottoms here, but some level tops, meaning that the sellers keep selling at a certain point, the buyers are getting more and more eager to get in, but then all of a sudden the sellers, they simply run out of steam and we break up. You can buy on the break here, or you can wait for a little retracement, and then we have some very nice gains here. So you could have made up until now an easy 10%, but it is still a buy signal. And some of you might say, yeah, well, it has gone up too much, I'm not going to buy now. And yes, it is up 133%, but you could have said the same about Tesla when it went to $50 or $100 or something like that, and you would have missed the entire trend up. So what I am going for is getting in on the trend somewhere and riding it until it starts to become a bit tired, and then I get out. But as you can see here, the RSI on the daily chart is still looking good, so Broadcom could definitely be one we should dive further into. Then we have this Cognizant, I think it is pronounced, technology, and that is on the last, since March here, has been in a very nice trend. We could argue that there might be some resistance here that we should be looking for. It seems like right now at this time, with this huge spike up from the bottom, it seems like none of these single tops has simply been follow. They have not worked as resistance. And what we can see here is that we have had about a month and a half of some sideways retracement here, and right now it seems like it is popping up. It is just down below the 50 line here, but if it works its way up from here, the Cognizant, I will definitely have it on the potential buy list. Then we have the Intuit, I think it is pronounced here. Again, nice trend. Again, two strong sellers. They have been selling it down from 360 and all the way down to 310. And right now it is simply a bit too well established above the 20 SMA. And down here at the RSI, we can see that it went down, tried to get up again, and then was shot down once again. And that's not really the stocks I like to be in. It might be a very good stock trending here, but it might be with some very large swings. And I actually like my the swings very small and very little volatility in the movements. So let's work it on and see if we can find something else. Synopsys, again, nice weekly trend. Again, a bit too much movement below the 20 SMA, but all of these will be on my observation list for the upcoming weeks. Then we have Abbott Laboratories here, or laboratories, depending on where you come from in the world. And what we can see here is the trend is intact. There is not really any resistance areas. This is just a stock that, of course, it would have been nice to be in, since it gave its green buy signal, trend signal down here at 45. That would have been a nice ride here. But what we can see is that it is bouncing from on the 20 SMA, spiking up, and then of course making a retracement, but it is not anywhere near establishing itself below the 20 SMA. It actually seems like it could be bouncing off the 20 SMA. And if we see a day or two where it bounces off the 20 SMA, and we also have the RSI down here bouncing off the 50 line, then up until now, Abbott is actually the best candidate on the list for now. And it is one we can dive deeper into. Then we have AutoZone, also one where we had a top here, but I'm not too worried about this. I'm more worried about these multiple tops where a lot of sellers might get in, like an area here. So right now, I'm not too interested in this top here. What I am interested in AutoZone here is to see the bounces off the 20 SMA, and it seems like it is keeping up. And the good thing here is that if I buy now, I can I can get pretty quickly out because the 20 SMA keeps moving up, and if the stock turns around and starts to establish itself down here and show some sell signals, then right now we are around 1240 and I can get out around maybe 1180 or something. So that is 5 or 6% down. I'm not taking very much risk. It actually means that I can put a bit more money into the stock and still not risking too much of my portfolio. So AutoZone, absolutely one on the list as well. DaVita here, as you can see, it is just in a green zone and it is a bit choppy here, and I don't really like an area like this. As I told you, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 attempts to get up here at some point, and right now we are just below. If I were to buy this one, it would need a good break up, a drop back, and then some sort of buyer strength here. Then I might have a look at it. You can also see that it drops below, it takes down here, they get way below the 20 and actually also below the 50. And on the RSI, it gets way above the 50 line and it stays down there for a while. I don't like it. DaVita is not getting on my list just right now. Then we have Eastman Chemical. And again, it is one of these stocks that I would not normally buy because of this multiple resistance area here. We can see it has been tested several times. But as I've told my subscribers the other day, it seems like there's not really anything called resistance right now. Prices just shoot straight up through these. However, I'm not taking these because at some time the market starts to react to these resistances again, and then we can buy and buy and buy and buy and get shot down every single time. So I can easily sit out of a win like this, a huge profit here, and then wait for, could I say, normal times where these are actually being tested or being broken through and retested from the upside. And that is the kind of scenario I'm looking for. But those of you that don't really care about this, you might want to take it. But again, it is not a complete clean trend on a daily chart neither. All right, Edwards Lifesciences. Again, we've broken this top, and multiple tops here didn't hold through. We have broken up, had a retracement over a couple of weeks, and now it seems like we are finding some support here at the 20 SMA. If it moves up from here, Edwards Lifesciences is definitely one to look for. It is on my candidate list. Fortive here, also a stock moving up, have a bit of a troublesome area here. As you can see, I don't like areas like this. You can simply draw about 1 million different resistance areas here, and every one of them might come through, but it really has to struggle to get through all of this. And before the big breakdown here, in the spring with the virus and the crisis, it was actually already starting to make lower tops on a weekly chart, and that is definitely not something I like. So right now, Fortive, no, out. Target, well, that has been a good one, and I actually had it in one of my videos. I think it was down here where I said you shouldn't look too much for this top, and that was down in 126, something like that. Then it got completely mad, ran up, have had 3 weeks of retracement. We do like that. If you look at the daily chart here, we can see that it is not even close to touching the 50 line down here, and it seems like it is finding some resistance. I'm not completely sure yet. If it turns down from here, it gets out of the list, but if it turns up from here, I think Target could be a stock that I would consider. Then we are back to Adobe. We have been through the list, and this, I hope, gives you an idea of how quickly I, at least on a daily basis, run through for instance, the US market and the Scandinavian market. Then at least once per week, I simply go through with the entire, I have one just called the US here, where I have every single stock that I'm looking on at the US, and I go through them one by one, noting down what I'm interested in, what I should look for, what could be a candidate in the near future. And no scanner in the world can make me put aside this practice, this discipline of doing this at least once per week. On the Scandinavian market, I'm doing it several times per week. There are a bit fewer stocks, and my subscribers are a lot interested in that, so I have to comment on that on a daily basis. But on the US market, at least once per week, I go through every single of these almost 500 stocks one by one, noting them. If there is something very interesting, let's say AbbVie was very interesting, I might take it into Stockopedia and see, has something new happened here? Are there some news? I look it up in Sachs. We can see, all right, it is looking good. PEG ratio 0.4. If it is US stock, I look it up in FastGraph as well. As you can see in many of my videos, I'm using FastGraph to see if something is under or overvalued. I use Guru Focus and so on. But it all comes from this and going through the market every single week. I know it takes time, but doing it gives you a completely unique feeling of the market. You start to see some patterns as to, oh, I can see that, for instance, the shipping sector or the online trade sector, the e-commerce sector is all of a sudden moving. When you can see your list of candidates, all of a sudden out of 15 candidates, you have 7 from the same sector, then you need to dive in and see, wow, why is this sector or this sub-industry, why is that moving? So I really, really urge you to do this on a regular basis. Again, I know it takes time, but when you have the setup, as I do, for instance, I look for the green zone and then for some support and some trend on a daily chart, then it doesn't take many seconds to go through and quickly you can remove a lot of the candidates. For instance, one like Abbott, that would jump into my eyes immediately saying, yes, uptrend, support in 20 SMA, RSI looks good, it's a green zone. I jot it down on a piece of paper, I go on, and then after these I might sit with 5 or 10 or 20 different stocks that I need to go a bit a bit more in depth with, I should say. All right. That's it for now. I hope that gave you a bit of inspiration. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them to me in the comment section below. Also, every 2 weeks we are running this silver 1 ounce silver Krugerrand giveaway, and that is for everybody that has commented in the comment section in some of the videos. Then you are in with a lottery ticket, and I might just pick you and I'll send the silver coin to you. So remember to comment down there, also subscribe, like, all of the stuff down there. And yes, that's it for now. In the upcoming days, I'll come with some videos about the hydrogen sector. I'm doing a lot of research these days, and it is taking a bit of time, but it will be in this week. That's all for now. Take care of yourself and your money out there. Bye for now.